Albert Breer was on this program, Dane, a couple of days ago, and he said there's a split on Michael Penix where many scouts are kind of down on him. Coaches love him, and he calls that the Penix conundrum right now. What is your evaluation of Michael Penix Jr., Dane?
I'm kind of split because I understand where the scouts are coming from. There's a lot about what Penix does that it worries you for the transition to the next level, and I think that the game against Michigan in national title game really showed it. Michigan is the closest thing that Michael Penix has seen to an NFL defense, and he looked like he wasn't ready for that stage. Against Texas, a more vanilla defense, he knew what was coming, and he picked them apart. Against Michigan, where they really mixed up their looks and made him think and gave him happy feet, and his eyes were all over the place. That's what he's going to face every single Sunday, and that's just tough. So there are several parts of his game that are inconsistent, his mechanics, his anticipation, his reaction to pressure. But I think where coaches really love Penix is the arm confidence. There is not a place on the field he is scared to throw. He will stretch it horizontally, vertically with his arm. And then the mental toughness. You think about what he has overcome over the years, the 4 season-ending injuries. Nobody wanted him out of Indiana. Washington was his only Power 5 offer to transfer after he left Indiana and entered the transfer portal. So he has overcome a lot. And you think about what he's done the last 2 years at Washington, and it won't be a surprise. I don't think Michael Penix is going to go in the top half of round 1. But if we see a team, say the Raiders, trade back up into round 1 to get a Michael Penix, I don't think that'd be too surprising.
Where does Bo Nix wind up, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's somewhere in that early second-round mix, kind of with Penix. He's obviously on paper has everything you want. I mean, he set the completion percentage record. I think that Oregon offense did such a great job of putting him in position to succeed. So he knew where to go with the ball. There was a lot of dump offs, a lot of screens. I think that really pushed up that completion percentage. I do think that once NFL pressure and the walls close in, that's where I think things fall apart a little bit. So if you're going to draft Bo Nix in the first round, top 25, you're saying that you think he's going to be a top 15 quarterback at some point during his rookie contract. And I just have a hard time seeing him go to that level. And so to me, he's more of a middle of the road NFL starter. But for a lot of teams, that's an upgrade. And so, if the Patriots end up passing on a quarterback at 3, maybe we see them go with the Bo Nix route. We could see a team like the Rams, maybe if they're worried about Matthew Stafford beyond this year. The Broncos are really interesting. What do they do with the 12th pick? And if they don't go quarterback early, they don't have a second-round pick, the Sean Payton trade. So do they look to trade up with that third-round pick? Do they look into next year's draft capital to move around? And one thing that's a point that multiple teams have brought up to me, looking forward, because teams always forward scout, especially a quarterback. Next year's quarterback class, there's not a lot to get excited about, at least at this point. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a Jaden Daniels who surprises us and comes out of nowhere.
Or a Burrow, right?
Semi-nowhere.
Or a Burrow,
Joe Burrow,
right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's a perfect example of maybe how tenuous it is or dangerous it is to look over the steering and go, there's nobody that great coming down the pike, so we should go maybe push somebody up here in this year. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.